Welcome back. All right, so a couple of games today, just the two. There might just be two tomorrow. I know right now we have 8 scheduled to happen tomorrow. We've got 3 that are postponed tomorrow. So maybe I'll end up with 2 to watch tomorrow night. Who knows? Either way, Tampa Bay was up first. This game started early today. And let's get into this. As Detroit didn't. This was a tough game, and I'm not sure exactly where I'd throw the blame. So, Tampa Bay is still undefeated at home. For Detroit, their winless streak is now up to 7 games. Grice was tested early by Coleman, and then it's Victor Hedman getting a goal from Johnson at 134. Pressure by Tampa after the goal. It drew a power play, but Detroit then makes it. It becomes a 4-on-4. Detroit draws a penalty to even things up. The 4-on-4 kind of sort of favored Tampa. First off, Cirelli scores from Shannon Hedman at 3:57. McDonough then gets a goal from Coleman at 4:54. And that's it. Calvin Pickard's in the net. Now, if your app was broken, it's because they had Bernier as the backup, even though Bernier's not available. It was Pickard, so that just broke the app during the game. But yeah, and again, is this just a complete failure by Detroit? Is this that Grice wasn't ready? Maybe a goal or two on this he should have had. Regardless, the fact is that the Wings didn't have a shot yet. It's 3-0 Tampa, 0 shots for the Wings. So what happens with this is the Wings get their first shot at 5.5 minutes, and that's, again, after 3 goals by Tampa. Impressive game by Tampa's entire blue line. All 6 of them. Really good. You'll see Shen on the board, McDonough with a goal, Hedman with a goal, and an assist. Everything's going well for them. Power play then for the Wings. That did even the shots at 6, so Detroit did show some fight back, but they're already down by 3. And Pickard looked pretty good after he came in this game. Might have made the argument for a start the next time out when these teams meet again on Friday. Second period, the Bolts started with a full power play, so this was a smart move. They had a delayed penalty late in the first. They just held on to the puck until the end of the period, so they could start the second with the power play. Pickard snagged a shot from Johnson as the power play expired. That would not have been a power play goal. Point then had a chance that was saved. The Wings were on their heels early in this period, which mirrored the first period as well. Power play for the Wings. No shots during the power play for the Wings. And then Tampa Bay makes it 4-0. So that fourth goal was Braden Point from Stamkos and Palat at 7 minutes and 25 seconds. A little over 2 minutes after that, Mantha with a nice breakaway leads to a goal. Christian Juice with the assist at 9:49. You never got the feeling, though, that Detroit was a threat to tie this or get really back into this game. Tampa Bay had a goal that appeared to be tipped with a high stick. And initially, the reaction by many, including myself, would have been, well, that's a high stick. It's above the bar. But on replay, it counted. So maybe on the ice, it was counted as a goal, and they couldn't find an angle that told them that the stick was above the bar. But Killorn gets that one from Sergachev and Coleman that was originally given to Gord, but they switched over to Killorn, and that's at 11:32. And yeah, so that made it 5-1. Power play then for the Bolts, which the Wings did kill off. Power play today was a problem for Tampa. Nothing else was. The Wings pressure, that drew them a power play. But we go to the third period with it 5-1. Tampa Bay gets a power play. And 6.5 minutes into the period, the shots are 4-0 in favor of Tampa. Again, Pickard was good. But this game was over 4 minutes and 54 seconds into the first. This was not a game Detroit was. They can't score 3 goals against Tampa. Gagne had a chance that hit the crossbar, partially saved by Vasilevsky, and then hits the bar and goes over. And Detroit loses this one 5-1, so they drop to 2-7-2. Tampa goes to 6-1-1. Remember that gaudy record I talked about earlier today? It's now 6-1-1. If they can win again on Friday, it'll be 7-1-1. Grice saves 3 out of 6 before he's replaced by Pickard, who saved 16 out of 18, so keep that in mind. The shots were 8 apiece or 8 each period for Tampa, every period. The shots for Detroit, 7 in the first, 6 in the second, and 4 in the third. Final shots, 24-17. Both power plays went 0 for 4. Vasilevsky saved 16 out of 17. It was not the most exciting game, especially once it was 3-0, and Tampa kind of went, all right. That was, you could almost see them saying, all right, so that's that then. And I didn't get the feeling they were putting their foot on the gas and trying to run up scores or anything. They could just take it home and just try to make sure nobody gets hurt. So yeah, that was the end of that for them. Moving along. Boston. So the Boston Bruins in against the Philadelphia Flyers. And I got to be honest, I thought Philly had this one won. I did. I thought this was one for Philly. Reverse retro Flyers tonight. You'll notice I have the Gritty logo up here. Gritty was on this broadcast a lot tonight, to be honest. And rightfully so. Beautiful painting, Gritty, if you watch this. You don't verbally speak, so there you go. Pastrnak scores from McAvoy and Bergeron at 12 seconds. And amazing moves by Pastrnak on that. He's up against Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere's good offensively, but defensively against Pasta, it's not going to happen. The Bruins pressed at 2 minutes, and Hart denied Ritchie. Hart had a very good game in this one. He did. The Flyers were dominated through the first 6 minutes. Miller had a chance that was blocked by Aube-Kubel, and there was more dominance from the Bruins at this stage. But they're only ahead by 1, and I thought that was a key thing. Like, okay, because they even said this is starting to look like Tampa Bay and Detroit, and it did. But Boston wasn't getting the goals that Tampa got early. They weren't burying this game. So the Flyers got their first shot about halfway through the period, which is not unlike Detroit's run against Tampa. Hart was the one keeping this at 1-0. James Van Riemsdyk had a chance that went wide as the Flyers pressed. Better second half of the period for the Flyers, and Van Riemsdyk, again, in this one was good. I'm going to do a video on players off to fast starts, try to act surprised when James Van Riemsdyk's on that list, but he is off to fast start. Second period, post for Ritchie. Another good game for Nick Ritchie. He's fit in very well with the Bruins. May very well end up being on that list as well of guys off to pretty good starts. Surprisingly good starts. The Flyers pressed, forced some turnovers at around the 4-minute mark. Bruins not a team that was avoiding those turnovers very well early in the second, keeping it close. Tight checking game, some slashing back and forth. And at some point, that slashing will result in a power play, which it did. And so the Flyers get the game's first power play. But during that power play, Corrali has a chance shorthanded on a breakaway and very nearly ended up making it a 2-0 lead. But that was stopped by Carter Hart. The Bruins pressed with 6 minutes left. Hart absolutely on his game tonight. Carter Hart looked fantastic, keeping it close. McAvoy then had his stick broken by Kevin Hayes, and guess who scores the goal? Kevin Hayes. He gets the goal from Sanheim and Myers while there's a player of the Bruins playing without a stick. Somebody handed it off to McAvoy, so there was a forward without a stick. But at 15:29, it's a tie game. Carter Hart then caught a chance from Pastrnak. There's a late Bruins power play in that second period. It does not score. So we go to the third, tied at 1. Early, Voracek scores from Sanheim and Patrick at 1:03. So before a reporter can say anything negative about Voracek, he gets a goal to shut them down. Momentum had shifted towards Philly at this point. And at this point, I'm thinking, all right, so Philly's going to win this. It's looking like some of their other games this year where once they start to take over, it's pretty much done. Hart continued stealing the game as well. So when Boston got their opportunities, Carter Hart was there to say, got this. Nope, not happening. Good chances for both teams. The hitting was picking up as well. Flyers throwing some hits in that third period. Farabee gets a goal then from Lawton and Van Riemsdyk at 8:41. And it looked like this was home and cleared. It was 3-1. And I thought, yeah, the Flyers have been the better team since that early push by the Bruins. That first 10 minutes was great and all, but the Flyers were playing better. And then there's a power play for the Bruins, and special teams were a problem for Philly in this third period and beyond. Farabee was the last scorer for the Flyers, and then Pastrnak gets a goal in the power play from Bergeron and Ritchie at 12:05. So that made it 3-2. This is where, okay, now the Flyers need to lock it down, and they pretty darn near did. The Flyers got a power play with 5:43 left. They don't score. However, you've taken another 2 minutes off the clock. So with 2:01 left, the Bruins get a power play. And it was a penalty killer that went to the box on that as well. So they pulled the goalie with a minute left. The interesting thing was the Bruins were having a really hard time busting into the zone. The Flyers were standing them up very well at the blue line and not letting them in. They get in, and it shows how much lethality there is to the way Pasternak's playing. He gets the goal with 15 seconds left from Marchand. Nice pass from Marchand. Pastrnak buries it. It's suddenly a tie game. So we're going to overtime, and I'm looking at the board and going, well, I don't have very much room. So I grabbed this board here, and before the period is out, because I'm thinking, all right, well, we're going to overtime, so we'll grab the little board. 7.3 seconds left, the Bruins get a power play. That's problematic, because the power play's already scored twice, and now it's going to be a 4-on-3. So in the overtime, you got Bergeron and Pastrnak on the ice. Good luck. 31 seconds, Krejci, Pastrnak, Bergeron buries it, power play marker. Patrice Bergeron, I know he's now the captain. That's why I was able to get this one for cheap, because Ben's got to get rid of the assistant captain Bergerons, because he's captain now, which means people look at that and go, assistant captain, what's that? Well, he's been assistant captain for years. I'll take an assistant captain Bergeron. So, yeah, 4-3 win in the overtime for the Boston Bruins, coming back from being down by 2. There's a hair in my face. I know it's not mine, because I don't have any. So, yeah, this was quite the comeback for Boston. Shots were 8 apiece in the first, 13-11 Boston in the second, 12-6 Boston in the third. They get both shots in the overtime, including the game winner by Bergeron. 35 shots to 25 in Boston's favor. The power play, lethal. 3-for-4 for Boston. 0-for-2 for Philly. Rask saves 22 out of 25. I thought he was good, not great. Good, I'm not going to pretend he was great. Hart saved 31 out of 35. I thought he played very well. Pastrnak, 3 goals and 1 assist in this one. Bergeron, 1 goal, 3 assists. And that's where people end up throwing perfection line around. I don't, because no. But they did look good tonight, and it makes a huge difference to Boston's attack having Pastrnak. He just knows where to go to get the goals. He knows how to generate points. He has this innate ability to get goals in the net that, honestly, if you told me, you know what, he's going to end up winning the Rocket Richard Trophy this year, I don't know that I'd be that surprised, even though he missed as much hockey as he did, because when he's on, he's just so darn good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, regarding these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.